Today's stars, tomorrow's leaders.
Welcome once again to Kazan for the 62-kilo men's Summer Universiad Championship, and this is a class of 12 and only one European in the whole of the lineup, and that's a statement in itself. We're in the Bata Sports Center in Kazan. And of course, if you've been with us for the Universiad, which began over the past weekend, you'll know that this is a massive, massive undertaking in Kazan, which is the capital of Tatarstan, the autonomous region within the Russian Federation. Weightlifting, one of 27 sports, spaced out in 40 venues. And the candidates, contenders being introduced, two Japanese, Tomohiro Kamayoshi and Yoisho Itokazu. The second one, this is Cha Kum Choi, a former world champion. These are all university champions, or university students I should say. Ahmed Saad of Egypt, Fakad Kaki of Kazakhstan. And then this is Tawachai Pongchi Aksa of Thailand, you've just seen. Gujino of Korea. Yontuna of Moldova, he is the one European in the competition. Asanka Gamaje of Sri Lanka, he's the outsider of the group. And then Majid Askari, just 21 years of age, representing Iran. Dobran Koganov. And finally, it's Mukhtar Enk Jadal, who represents Mongolia, to complete the class. So those are the men who were presented some moments ago before the competition started. That is the tradition, 15 minutes before the competition. And you can see this hall very well prepared. They hosted the European Weightlifting Championships in 2011 in Kazan in another competition hall. They used that as a preparatory opportunity, and they did a heck of a good job. Really nice people in this part of the world. And we're going to pick up the action now with the Moldovan. This is 19-year-old Jon Turner. First snatch attempt, as you can see, at 121 kilos. And alongside myself, David Goldstrom, Commonwealth Games champion, Michaela Breeze. Good start.
Very good, very solid. You can see him very composed there, walking off the platform. Still 2 attempts left to go.
And that effectively takes him into the lead at 121 kilos. Body weight 61.84, so he's one of the heavier guys of the class. And now the Egyptian, this is Ahmed Saad, opening up on 122.
Quick glance at the clock to see how long he has. That buzzer indicates there's only 30 seconds remaining. Very fast underneath the bar, didn't quite get full leg extension, but that won't faze him. He's happy there in the competition with 122 kilos. Great lift.
Well, there's some really good contenders in this competition. Cha Kum Choi is the man with experience, but another opportunity to look at a good opener here.
Yeah, very solid overhead. You can see he's well in his comfort zones on what this guy's done in training. Probably in the region of top ends of the 120s. He's coming into this in great shape. And
I tell you, Michaela, with all that's going on in his home country at the moment, I guess he might be very glad to be here, but might be finding it quite difficult to concentrate with all that's going on back home.
Yeah, I wonder how long these athletes have been out here preparing before these games. I mean, usually at a Commonwealth or an Olympics, you're away from home for a couple of weeks beforehand. I'm guessing they'd have been out. Here we go, third and final attempt, same problem, not there today. He's going to be disappointed with that, but his body weight sits at 61.84, so that's a strong indication that he's had to cut a fair amount of body weight to make this category. And usually when that happens, the lifter does struggle with the legs. See here, doesn't quite get full leg hip extension. Coach is also frustrated.
So back on stage, our Egyptian contender. This is xvid, successful at 122, now going for 126. This would give him the outright lead.
And he looked comfortable on his first attempt. Just waiting for that 30-second buzzer so it doesn't disturb him.
Very good. Actually, rather better than the first one from me, because having got the first one, he sort of relaxed a little bit.
Yeah, you can see there he was under a lot more strain. Really had to work hard. Powerful leg drive. But again, very, very confident underneath the bar. You can't pull out of these lifts halfway through. Fully committed, superb second attempt.
Was that a look of surprise or amazement? But of course, as we say in the game, Michaela, and you know this, the first one you've lifted 1,000 times, so you should always make it. The second one you have done, and under normal circumstances, but it's the third one where you're really pushing yourself into arguably no man's land.
Yeah, third attempt really, because you only get 3 lifts. The third attempt you should be pushing into no man's land and, you know, attempting new personal best. I wouldn't go as far as saying the first and second ones have been done 1,000 times. I know when I was lifting, if I could get within 5 kilos in the gym, I was good for those weights in competition. So quite often these lifters will be out their comfort zone from the word go.
128 kilos on the bar for Itokazu. 22 years of age. Really encouraging to see an athlete at this level, at that age, because it does mean that he's got plenty of years potentially ahead of him. Japanese weightlifting produces 1 or 2 good champions from time to time.
Again, technically very good, very sound, and extremely quick. These guys literally are powerhouses, pocket rockets.
Takes him into the overall lead. Just to reiterate that we're still waiting for a couple of men in the wings, Kaki of Kazakhstan and Cha of People's Republic of Korea, who are respectively not going to join the fun until 1:30. So warming up nicely now, third and final attempt, and this is Ahmed's side, who I guess we didn't know too much about him. We know a little bit more now, but he's in with Maiden at that, and
you don't reckon that's 4 meters?
Well, legally, the IWF, and I know that Attila, who's the competition director, is there. But interesting to have a look at this the next time and get what your opinion is.
Yeah, that's a 4 meter square platform.
Oh, right.
I think the angle we were looking at.
I think it's the angle, yeah.
Yeah, 4 meters. The rules are that the lift has to start and finish on the platform. The bar must also be dropped on the platform for the lift to count. So the lifter can roll the bar backwards if they want. They can roll it forwards, so long as they stay on it.
Third attempt for 3 out of 3 for Itokazu of Japan. And now you're really seeing the mental part and the physical together. A good drive up there, and that's 3 out of 3, I would say.
Absolutely fantastic there. If you watch that back in slow-mo, the bar won't go much higher than the black line on his leotard, but the leg power to drive that bar up gives him enough time to get under the bar. Watch how high this bar goes. There, and he's dropping already.
And look how quick that is, even in slow motion. I mean, when you produce a snatch lift, I mean, it's really fast. You're talking about close to the, motorway speed limit. Sort of 70 miles an hour sort of thing.
The faster you are, the better, and the deeper squat position, again, even better. But that just shows the lifters back home watching this, that you do not need to lift the bar high, so long as you're technically good and quick under the bar.
And Alexei there, the coach for Kazakhstan, looking on. And just to say that Itokazu's finished his lifting, but can't be worse than a bronze medal. But now two men, and this is Farhad Khaki, and up against him Chakum Choi of the People's Republic of Korea. This is 1:35. Second attempt.
Very dynamic, not quite as tidy in the squat position, but extremely solid, very strong receiving position. That's put him straight up into the lead now, with only one lifter that can knock him out of the gold medal position.
Just to put this in some context here, the world snatch record held by Shi Zhiyong, 153 kilos. I mean, that dates back to 2002, so over a decade ago. But if I come back to the Universiad record, it's 140 by Eko Yuli Irawan of Indonesia, and that relates to the Shenzhen Universiad back in 2011. So he's got a big decision now to make. He's secure in silver medal position. Question is, does he sit it out? Does he let Chakum come in? But Chakum has posted 140, and Farhad, where's he going to go?
I think here, David, he's in a position, he knows what he's capable of. He needs to be very careful not to get drawn into a battle, because this is only halfway through the competition. He needs to get as much as he can on the snatch to stand him in good stead going in.
Kept him a little closer to this man, who I'm assuming, opening up here, Michaela on 140, former world champion 6 years ago in Chiang Mai, the year before the Beijing Olympic Games, in which he finished 5th.
Yeah, remember this is a student, so there's no age limit on this. One of our more mature students. Oh, wow, very unsteady overhead. That's a lot of strain through his elbow and shoulder there on his left side.
Has to put the weight down on the platform for it to be legal, and he got the 140. It's interesting when you look at this again, have a look where his feet on the platform at the same time that he put the weight down on the platform. Unfortunately, we're not actually seeing that picture.
No, I think the one red light that we saw there was for some shoulder movement, but didn't look like a bad lift. Did look like a painful lift though. I'm not sure how much more he's got in those shoulders.
Well, it's worth. He takes the lead by 5 kilos. He weighed in at 61.80, so compared to his Kazakhstan opponent, he's 0.2 heavier. So you can see the one with university record there, 140. But of course, to break the record, you have to do more than 140. You don't get anything for equaling it.
Well, I don't think he's coming out here so much interested in the records. I mean, the record is 140. To get the record, he needs 141. I think he's going up to 145, David.
Yeah, well, how confident would you be on the evidence of that first lift? Remember, when he won that world title, of course, he was a 56-kilo lifter. Now he's a 62-kilo lifter, trying to re-establish himself at the top of this weight class.
I think looking at that first attempt, he's obviously very, very strong. I'm just not sure he's got the shoulder stability overhead. With another 5 kilos, this is really going to test him.
Has up to 2 minutes to follow himself here, so he has plenty of time to...
And he'll take that time as well. It takes time for your body to recover. Your central nervous system has been, really challenged and fired up here. So he needs to make use of that. Even if he feels ready now, his coach will be telling him to hang on.
Now, of course, the Kazakhstan lifter will be hoping that this is 5 kilos too far, which will keep him just that little bit closer. So he'll be watching this keenly. Time enough in the zone. No, he's not going to hold on to that.
What a fight.
Decent enough attempt. Can he do it? Last chance in the first part of this 62 kilo final. Nope, same thing.
Yeah, I don't want to see the replay of that. You know, these lifters really are pushing their bodies to the limits. Let's hope that that injury, that niggle there on his right elbow, doesn't affect him going into the clean and jerk. I'm sure the doctors will give him a bit more spray, and adrenaline really is the best painkiller as well.
People's Republic of Korea, known for many things, but in the world of sport, their weightlifters are consistent achievers at the highest level. But yeah, that was painful to look at, painful for him, but I think he's just about got away with it. So he wins the snatch phase with 140 kilos ahead of the Kazakhstan and Japanese lifters. More of that when we return. Welcome back. The clean and jerk now ahead of the major contenders. Just to reiterate, Cha Kum-choi, People's Republic of Korea, 25 years of age. He posted a total of 310 as his target, which is the biggest total of all the contenders. He took the gold and the lead by 5 kilos in the first part from the Kazakhstan liver Kaki Fakhat. And this is 150 kilos on the bar for the Moldovan Jon Turner to take the lead. And that is a good lift, and it means he can add the 150 to the 121 he got in the snatch phase, which gives him a running total of 271. He entered a total of 280, so his entry target total is within grasp.
See this lifter, a long way to drive that bar. He's got very long arms. Has to really split wide and drop his body nice and low to get under it.
Former European bronze medalist, total 276 in taking that overall bronze in 2012 at the Europeans. And now 26-year-old Ahmed Saad for Egypt. Now, 2 decent efforts in the snatch phase, 122, 126, failed at 129, you might remember. So coming in here at 152, is the clean and jerk more his cup of tea? It's more forgiving though, isn't it? For the bigger weights they're aspiring to lift.
There's a little bit more room for error. The bar doesn't need to travel as high in one movement. And as a result, you can shift a bit more weight on the clean and jerk. He stood out of that clean very strong.
276 is running total. I just think that miss, that the second and third failed attempts in the snatch have kept him out of any chance of really going for an overall medal. Thailand now. Tamachai Phongchiangsa. Only 20 years of age, so young, in fact the youngest of the class. Well, Jon Turner, I have to say, is the youngest at 19. He's the second youngest, but maybe a young man to keep an eye on here. Third attempt. Quite a deep split, but I think he's there, and that's 3 out of 3 clean and jerks.
Yeah, he's got to be pleased with that. You see him having to work extremely hard then to steady himself.
He only brought forward 116 kilos from the snatch phase, so that really has determined the outcome. Gives him a total of 271, but let me put that into context. A couple of years ago at the Asian Games, when he was outside the top 10, He actually 2:45. So, okay, it is 3 years ago, but he's making progress. The eyes of the Egyptian coach on Ahmed Saad.
It's a 4 kilo increase from his first attempt. I'm anticipating the clean being very strong, but I think he might struggle on the jerk.
Was there a press out?
No, I'd give him that. That was a good lift.
No.
Still not moving his feet very wide though, David. That's a big ask, that is, to drive the bar overhead without moving your feet very far. The second attempt is a good one.
So that's got him in the lead at the moment on 282. That's where he stands at the moment. So he's in the overall lead, but worth mentioning that, of course, there are still the likes of Itokazu and Chakum Choi and Farkad Kaki to play their cards. And it looks as if he's going to follow himself. Interesting in this weight class. We know that European lifters, Michaela, in the men's division particularly, tend to be more effective as the heavier weight classes come on. But it is interesting, only one European in the whole of this class enter.
And you know what? Europeans are strong in terms of weightlifting, so it just shows what depth there is across the world now in this sport, and it really looks so strong. But now we're seeing the likes of China, People's Republic of Korea, Japan, Thailand, they're all coming through. And really are, I guess, pushing Europe out a little bit. But, you know, it's a tough game. The difference is, in Europe, we're always fighting to generate the numbers, whereas in the Asian countries, they just mass-produce the lifters. It's fantastic to see so many people involved in the sport out there.
This is the third and unfortunately unsuccessful attempt from Jon Turner from Moldova at 159. So he's stuck on 276, which is going to keep him out of the overall medals. And yeah, you just sense some disappointment there. He came for more.
We're going to have a bit of a battle now for the medals, David. We've got Ahmed Saad is probably going to play a bit of a waiting game now. Let's wait and see what the Japanese guy is capable of before he opts for his third attempt, because at the end of the day he's in fourth, he's got nothing to lose now. He's probably going to sit and wait to see what he needs.
Jon Turner actually equaling his personal best, which he set in the Europeans a couple of years ago. Chisinau, capital of Moldova, applicant for hosting a future European Championships. May have to wait a while, but no doubt that their weightlifting squad is improving. But moving on now, People's Republic, Korea.
Chakum Choi for his first attempt, 163 kilos. Well, that bar was pulling him forwards, had to work hard to sit straight. And that's a good recovery. He wasted a lot of energy on that clean. 163, he's in the competition.
Yeah, he's got a total going here, and that takes him to 303, but he's not textbook by any means, and he's very rough around the edges, and as you say, he's using up that tank of petrol that you start with. Remember, these guys are not just taking 3 snatch attempts and 3 clean and jerk attempts before they even start the competition. In each phase they're going through warm-up, starting quite often with 0, just the bar, and lifting that to build the rhythm. So when you add that all together, they will actually be doing well over 20 lifts in the whole sequence of the day, and every lift takes energy, and each time that you use that little bit more petrol, and that, when it's rough around the edges, uses more than he would have wished. 163 kilos on the bar here.
Absolutely super there. Great second attempt. I think that really is going to put the...
Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty now, Michaela, and you're absolutely right about Ahmed Saad, and 282, the way things are going, he's just not going to get into overall medals. He's looking as if he's going to be 4th overall. Again, it's the same three suspects from the first half of the competition, and here is Farhad Kaki coming out to open up on 165. 22 years of age, and lifted that this year in the Asian Championships. So it's interesting that the weight that he finished on in those championships is the weight that he's starting on here in the Summer Universiad.
It's great, it shows progress, and at this kind of age we'd expect to see that kind of progress, so always exciting to see how far these guys can push themselves out their comfort zone. Oh, wow.
Jerk.
Well, that was, I think that was below power. Power is considered above 90-degree knee bend. He went into a deep squat position there. That's a squat jerk.
Yeah.
If anybody wants to appreciate how difficult that is, you can get a broomstick, pop it overhead and see if you can get into a squat position. Remember, you've got to keep the bar overhead and not in front of you.
And just making the observation, which is a good one, Michaela, this version of this lift leaves you less margin for error.
Oh, there's no room for error. Anything that's slightly in front, slightly behind, and the lifter's gone. You've got nowhere to run to, nowhere to chase to get back underneath the bar. You've got to be so stable overhead.
And confident.
Absolutely. And have ridiculous leg strength to be able to stand up again from that deep squat position.
Now, going for 167, Itokazu. Sorry, 166, I beg your pardon. This is Cha of People's Republic of Korea. 3 kilo increase on his first attempt. Well, he's strong overhead, but all the time the clean is just sapping energy.
You know, when he stood from that clean, you could see his whole body under pressure, shaking just to stand still. It's a great jerk after that kind of clean.
So that takes him to 306. He's got the overall lead. This must take its toll.
Really doesn't look comfortable in that position, but manages to find the legs. Great recovery.
Real determination, really digging deep, both on the first and indeed on the second attempt.
For him?
Yeah, this is his final chance, so this is the lift to put pressure on. Now remember how much he struggled in that first phase. The clean.
5 seconds.
No.
David, I wasn't convinced on that clean even. He moved the bar, caught it low on his shoulders, and as he stood up, adjusted it higher up onto his shoulders. That's not allowed, so I'm surprised the referees didn't ask him to put it down then. Looks like he's pulled something. It doesn't surprise me when you see how asymmetrical he was overhead.
So he's stuck on 306, the former 56 kilo world champion, representing the People's Republic of Korea. Here's the move, Michaela. Didn't need to see the coach. Want to see the lifter.
Look at the hips though, you can see he's got a banana body there. All bent. That's just going to be so many injuries waiting to happen.
Yeah, just a bit disappointing that we haven't got that side shot which shows you, the hips and the line. Well, you were right. It's all down to this man now, Farhad Kaki, who is at the moment on a total of, what's he got? 6, he's on
301.
30, or was it 300? Second attempt.
300.
This would take him in. No.
Well, that was his second attempt on 171. You're right, he's come from a 300 total, attempting.
This is what he's trying to do. He's trying to lift up 6 kilos more from the 165 to 171, and then using his lighter body weight, he's at 6160 compared to the People's Republic of Korea lifter who's in the clubhouse, so to speak, on 306. If he can lift it this time, the final attempt, then he could snatch, so to speak, this title away from the People's Republic of Korea by virtue of lighter body weight. Now he seemed, in just looking at him there, just rehearsing and going through that, was the previous record set by Irawan, Eko Yuli Irawan, of 170. That was in Shenzhen in 2011. So this is for the title and a clean and jerk Universiad summer record by a kilo, but it's the title he wants. Can he stand? Yes, he can.
Well, he's got the legs, hasn't he?
Oh, he's there.
Absolutely nailed it. Look at that.
And that is the 60 kilo Fizu University Summer Championship, and Alexei is there. He's got another success.
Yeah, I think Chakum Choi was watching from the People's Republic of Korea. He's gone back into the warm-up room now, disappointed with the silver, but hey, this is the man on the day. Not the best.
Looking down, you can see the discrepancy. There was no B group in this competition. There were just this number of lifters entered into this particular class. But bronze medal, and that's encouraging. Good to see a Japanese lifter on the podium, I think.
Yeah, follows a good tradition. They've had some great lifters in the past, and it's good to see the youngsters coming through again. And I was very impressed by this young man. Very good technically, very efficient, very consistent.
People's Republic of Korea. This young man's going to be, I think, a tad disappointed. Be interested to see his body language and emotion when he's announced as the runner-up.
Yeah, he won't be used to finishing in second place. I think to him he's probably going to feel more like he's lost the gold.
And you sense, you know, that the pressure from back home to win is intense.
Yeah, he's not smiling.
However, your winner, Farhad Kaki, representing Kazakhstan, runner-up earlier this year in the Asian Championships, and now Universiad champion. And okay, compared to the rest of the world, there are plenty of absentees, but you beat who turns up on the day, and he's done that well. He withstood the pressure of the second clean and jerk failure to come back and grab the title by virtue of his lighter body weight. So, national anthem of Kazakhstan. A good competition for the 62 kilos, and Michaela and myself will be back a little later in the day with the men's 69 kilos competition. That's at 2000, 8 p.m. Central European time, an hour earlier for those of you across the United Kingdom. But for now, from Michaela Breeze and myself, David Goldstrom, thank you for watching. Bye-bye from Kazan.